Hey guys, Sergeant No Rep here, live in the judges' locker room, and today I'm here with a special guest, Tater Tot. Come over here, Tate. Say hi to everybody.
Hi.
So today we're going to be doing our predictions for the top men and the top women at the 2020 CrossFit Games. Obviously, the top 5 will move on from the online competition to the live in-person in California. So, first of all, there's been a lot of names popped out there, and pretty much 3 or 4 of them have been consistent the whole time. 3 of mine will be the same, but I have the last 2 picks for the men that are different, and for the women, it's been around about 3 or 4 as well. It's the same and 1 different. So I'll try to make this a little different, but obviously you can't vote against guys like Matt Frazier and stuff like that. So here we go. The top 5 men at the CrossFit Games. Okay, obviously for my first pick, number 1, and this is in no real order, but one of the top 5 men will be Matt Frazier, as you can see on the screen behind me. Obviously, Matt Frazier comes in as the 4-time reigning champion at the CrossFit Games. Obviously, 2 times before that he fell a little short, but right now, Matt Frazier seems unbeatable, so I wouldn't count him out. It's especially something like this where athletes need to be focused and driven because they don't have the other athletes right beside them. This is all being done online by yourself. Matt Frazier is a type that's going to put it in code black and just go all out. Okay, and for our number 2 pick, I'm going to bring Tate in here to help us out. Come here, Tate. So our number 2 pick is what?
Pat
Vellner. So we're going to pick Pat Vellner, the Canadian, to be the next, I guess, selected for the top 5. So Pat Vellner had a disappointing season last year where he didn't make the cut, kind of faltered in some of the running events. So he definitely has something to prove this year. And Pat Vellner has excelled in all these online type formats, like the Rogue Invitational, obviously winning the Open this year. So definitely Pat Vellner's in my top 5. For my pick number 3, we have, who do we have, Tate?
Noah
Olsen. So Noah Olsen is coming in as my pick number 3. So in the last 3 game appearances, Noah Olsen went 2nd, obviously last year, 6th and 4th. He's looked very strong last year at the games. Had a pretty good Open this year. I say pretty good, but he came in 6th place at the Open. So I'm picking Noah Olsen to make it into my top 5. So those 3, Matt Frazier, Pat Vellner, Noah Olsen, have kind of been consistent across all the predictions. Most other predictions went with Chandler Smith. Obviously, Chandler Smith has been on a rise the last couple of years. But his finishes in the Open, he finished 22nd this year and 44 the year before. So I'm not picking Chandler Smith to make it in my top 5. So my other one that I should be picking, but I'm not, is BK Gudmundsson. So obviously he's done well in this year in the Open. He did 4th. In 2019, the Open, he was 2nd. So he definitely probably should be somebody in my top 5, but I'm not going with him. I'm going to pick 2 other little bit of outsiders there. So my 4th pick is the gentleman behind me on the screen here, is Roman Krevenkov. So he's from Russia. In the last few games there, he's had issues getting visas coming to the United States. So he's qualified for the games, but he's never competed at the games because he was never given a visa. So obviously this year, where it's being online, he has a chance to compete, and I think he's going to take that and seize that opportunity and qualify in the top 5. So he won the regional 2 years ago, placed 10th in the Open this year. So he's done well, but I really think he's going to seize his opportunity, make it to the top 5, and then we'll see about the visa after that. So my 5th pick is on the screen behind you. You can see where he lives. Who is our 5th pick?
Jacob. We
have Jacob Hepner, as you can see behind me on the screen. So Jacob Hepner would be somewhat of the underdog, the man that has a little dog. So he did okay in the Open this year, 19th, but his last 3 game appearances that he had, he missed some in between there, I think with injuries and stuff. He was always in the top 10. I think Jacob Hepner will excel at these Open style workouts. And realistically, I think he's coming into his last couple years where he can be very competitive against games athletes. And I hope Jacob seizes this opportunity, gets in the top 5, and goes to California. So one of the athletes, the big name one that obviously I mentioned, Chandler Smith, Goodmanson, that aren't going to make it in my top 5, and another one would be Brent Fikowski, who's not making it in my top 5. Now, if this was in-person games, obviously I wouldn't bet against Brent Fikowski, but Brent Fikowski has had an issue with his online workouts. I think he finished, 32nd, 183, 184 over the past 3 years. So that doesn't bode well if these games, these 2 days of games, are kind of open style workouts. I'm betting against Brent Fikowski, sadly, my fellow Canadian. But that's my top 5. So run through them. We have Matt Frazier, Pat Vellner, Noah Olsen, Roman Kharkov, and Jacob Hepner in my top 5.